The deadly game comes to its chilling conclusion as Samara faces the horrifying truth about the Pink Death killer and the twisted depths of the murder committed. A shocking and unforgettable finale. To spin the bottle, all that's left is to count the bodies and pray.
What's that? You want to be scared? Come with me. You will experience tales of horror, ghosts, and death. It is not recommended for the weak at heart. Listen in the dark. It's more fun that way. This is Weekly Spooky.
Hello, my spookies. It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's time for a little spooky in your weekly. I'm your host and narrator, Enrique Couto, and tonight we get to dive into the thrilling conclusion of Spin the Bottle. Who survives? Who dies? And more importantly, who or what is the Pink Death? And what does it want? But before we get to that, I want to say thank you so much for joining us tonight, and I hope you're subscribed on your favorite podcasting app, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or the like, because you do not want to miss all of the special content coming right here at Weekly Spooky, including on Friday, a very special episode of Do You Even Movie with my good buddy David, where we talk all about an underrated classic in the world of serial killer biopics known as Confessions of a Serial Killer. It's chilling, and you won't want to miss it. And if you love what we're doing and want even more, you can go to weeklyspooky.com/join, and for as little as $1 a month, get 2 bonus shows every single month and 5 years of exclusive audiobooks, creepypastas, and so much more. That's at weeklyspooky.com/join. Your patronage makes a huge difference in keeping the spooky coming and coming and coming. But now it's time for the matter at hand. Over the last few weeks, we've watched Samara Miran's world unravel. Obsession, betrayal, and the deadly presence of the Pink Death have turned a simple game into a nightmare. But every game must come to an end. Tonight, the pieces fall into place. Samara will face her past, her choices, and the horrifying truth behind everything that's happened. Get cozy, because all will be revealed, and so much more, right after these quick words. Previously on Spin the Bottle. After another nightmarish game, Samara Miran wakes up to find her older sister's blood all over her. After cleaning up, she wants to run away and go where the killer won't find her. Grant Wild intercepts her and stops her from running. Samara confesses her suspicions of Grant being the killer and why. Grant asks for a motive. Unable to give one, she lets him help her find the killer. Samara finally suspects Blake and Karen and gives good reasons and a motive. Samara is again taken and placed into a final round of Spin the Bottle from Hell. This time, Grant is part of the game. The final round proves fatal as the Pink Death killer murders everyone horribly, except Samara. The killer sets her free, saying there will be one last round between just them. Believing Blake to be the killer, Samara hunts for her and goes to her parents' summer cabin. She's horrified to find the bodies of all the victims of the Pink Death. Blake finally reveals herself and the 2 girls begin to fight, resulting in a losing effort for Samara. Before she passes out, Blake tells her it's time for her to learn the truth. And so will you as we head into the thrilling conclusion of Spin the Bottle. Sunday night. I feel myself being shaken awake. I open my eyes and see Blake Karen looking down at me. "Do you still want to fight me, or are you ready for the truth?" Blake asks. I quickly get to my feet and stand ready to fight Blake again. I already know the truth. You killed all these people. I turn and point to the charred skeleton. That was my boyfriend, Grant Wild. Why kill Wildman? You two had so much history together, Blake. What? You didn't like that he left you here all alone last year, so you're making sure he stays with you forever? Shut up, Blake yells, looking like she's losing her mind. To be honest, I'm probably losing it myself. You don't know anything, Samara. Believe me, you're going to shit when you hear the truth. Blake turns to point to one of the bodies behind her, but I grab her and give her a nasty headbutt. Ow! I groan. Jesus, that psycho bitch has a hard head. I hold the spot where it's hurting. Suddenly, Blake grabs me and drives her knee into my stomach. Then she shoves me on my ass. Stop fucking fighting me! She tightens her fists. Listen to me! Let me tell you the truth! I struggle to get back up. Damn, Blake really knocked the wind out of me. There's nothing you could say to me, Blake, I groan. I won't listen to your lies and bullshit ever again. I point past her. Those lives there are all on you. Don't you dare try lying your way out of this. Was it me you wanted or Wildman? I'm guessing it was me since you killed him. I really thought you were intelligent when we first met. I never imagined you were a whack job. I'm ready to go at Blake again, but something else gets my attention now. One of the badly decomposed bodies suddenly moves and slips a noose around Blake's neck. Blake gasps and gags when the corpse pulls hard on the noose, making her feet come off the floor. I'm back on my feet and move to save Blake, but I'm still not fully recovered from her knee. Now the corpse easily comes off its own noose. I'm staggering when the corpse grabs and slashes each of Blake's wrists with a kitchen knife. Now she's bleeding all over the floor, fast. Soon, Blake loses her fight with death and just hangs there, like all the other corpses. The decaying corpse looks at me now. What do you think, sugar tits? The decaying corpse comes into the light more. Wit? But how? The corpse peels off the morbidly decayed face to reveal the very living, not decaying face of Whit Dalton. I shake my head quickly. There's no fucking way! I point in a random direction. Back in my dorm, I saw you dead. I saw that fucking pink death with you on his shoulder. I point at her now. You can't be alive! You can't! Whit laughs now. You saw exactly what I wanted you to see. I love it when a plan comes together. Then I point at Blake's hanging corpse. She knew about you. That's what she wanted to tell me. Whit laughs again. Good guess. Blake saw me the way you're seeing me now. I ran down here where I had everything set up. I quickly reapplied my rotting face and blended in with the rest of my handiwork here. Blake never figured it out, much like you never figured it out. Then I pointed her. But I saw your body on the Pink Death's shoulder. You were working with the killer the whole time. What? You got that motherfucker nearby, waiting to jump me? Whit really laughs now. Then she points right at me. The Pink Death was all me, sugar tits. All me. Now I'm really confused. Then how did you get on his shoulder? Whit quickly comes and lifts me right onto her shoulder. Just like this. And now she drops me into a padded deck chair and weighs me down as she handcuffs both of my wrists to it. Now you'll stay right here and not give me the kind of trouble you gave Blake." She gives me a sweet smile and stands to her feet. Again, her smile is quite beautiful and deadly. Whit sits down in another chair beside me. "I'm going to tell you everything." She's still smiling. "The body you thought was me on the Pink Death's shoulder was really a corpse I borrowed from the Strickfield General Hospital's morgue. I told you I got a job as a mortician there shortly after I arrived here. You do remember I'm a mortician, right? I have lots of bodies at my disposal. I just had to borrow one to present the illusion I was dead. Of course, you couldn't use your cell phone, since I had those modified signal jammers planted around your dorm. You had to leave to go out and find some bars. With you gone, I came down off the noose. Then I got naked and dressed the body I hid behind the couch in front of me. See, I counted on you not going behind the couch when you found me supposedly hanging there. After I dressed the corpse in my clothes, I put on the Pink Death costume and lifted," she makes air quotes, "me on my own shoulders. When you came back in, you saw me in my costume with," air quotes again, "my ass end facing you." Whit stands up fast, turns around and slaps her own ass. "I even made sure the corpse I borrowed had the same perfect ass as mine." She giggles a little. "I'll never forget catching you staring at my perfect tushy the day we first met." She sits back down. "As for all those games of spin the bottle, getting all of you wasn't hard at all. It's not hard to get a tranquilizer gun and the perfect darts to render you all unconscious long enough for me to have all of you gathered in that attic. Nobody would have found the house since it was some abandoned dump in the country. Keeping an eye on you was so easy, which was how I knew where you were at all times. Getting into every house was easy too. I got a hold of some keys, had copies made, and put the originals back. That includes Wildman's cabin, where you two were going to fuck that night before you found my supposedly dead body in your dorm."
Did you hear that? Better check the locks on your doors. Weekly Spooky will be right back.
As for moving all of you, after I'd shoot you with the darts, I loaded all the sleeping bodies into the back of the big pickup truck I drove to Strickfield in. I covered up the back and brought all of you out there. Then I brought you in the house and right up to the attic. From there, I could position you and secure you all. "How did you get to Wildman and me at the frat house?" I demand. "There were people in the house, and Wildman barred the door to his room." Whit giggles. "I just had to shoot a couple of tranq darts through the window. A few of them went down, and the rest bailed. Also, Wildman didn't have the chair so well jammed under the knob. I got in easy, tranked you both, and took you with me. Am I good or am I good?" I roar and try breaking free, but Whit again proves when she secures someone, they stay put. "Why, Whit?" I demand. "Why couldn't you have just taken me? Why did you have to kill everybody?" Let's see. She raises her index finger. 1, because I could. Her middle finger. 2, it was unbelievably fun. A third finger. 3, because I want you all to myself. She laughs. "You know, I never knew you had it in you to fuck Blake. I guess you two really had serious crushes on each other. I was pissed watching you two go at it." She sighs. "You disappoint me. I'm not even fresh out of your life. Never out of your life. And you were going to replace me with Blake." Whit points right at me. "And don't you dare tell me she was better in bed than me. You never had hot female flesh as sizzling as mine. And you know it." She suddenly raises her finger. "But you want to know why I refused to spare anyone that you begged me to? Simple, really. There can be nobody between you and me. You're all mine, and now you're finally mine once more. Don't you remember what I told you that day? On what you thought was the last time you would ever see me alive? I said, no matter where you go, I would always follow. Even in death, you could never escape me, sugar tits. Wit utters a romantic moan. I love you forever and ever, Samara Mirren. She puts her hands on the pit of my tummy. I really fell hard for you. So much that it hurts like hell. Especially after I fucked up with you. I learned I truly didn't know what I had with you. Until you were gone. I had to get you back. No matter the cost. Wit shakes her head quickly. That means no Blake and no Wildman. Only me. That's why I killed everybody who was in that game of spin the bottle. Nobody can have you, Samara, and I absolutely mean nobody. She finishes in a crazy maniacal tone. You are mine and mine alone. I also said I would taste your lips again. My love for you hurts so deeply that I've killed for you. Now I'm the one laughing it up. This makes Wit smile. This is going to sound fucked up, but even after all of this, I still love her smile. It's beautiful. How many times had this crazy female turned me into melted butter with that damn smile? Talk to me, sugar tits, Wit purrs. What's so funny? You, I blurt through my laughter. When I calm down enough, I explain myself. You keep saying you love me. You said you killed for me. Then I calm down and glare at her. And yet, you fucking cheated on me. You do remember how I walked in on you with your old girlfriend, right? Wit's looking pretty down now and is trying not to let the pain show. I succumbed to a moment of weakness. I can never deny that. She points to me. Whenever you talked about Shelley, I knew you still had feelings for her. Also, I told you, Roxy and me, we had a history together. All she had to do was steal a kiss from me to make me remember. She sighs regretfully and cries a little. I know I definitely messed up when it came to you. I will admit that. I will also admit I deserved all those punches you gave me. You broke your hand all to shit on 2 of those. Last time you busted out several of my teeth. You hit hard when you were really pissed, but I wholeheartedly admit I deserved every bit of it. Believe me, I understand I broke your heart. You didn't break my heart, you bitch! I spit at her. You literally threw it against a wall as hard as you could to shatter it into a million tiny pieces. And then, there were all those times you used to yell at me and demean me. You'd even hurt me when we had sex. Wit suddenly springs at me and drops her hands on the arms of my deck chair. Her eyes are locked on mine now. You loved it when I abused you. I learned it turned you on so much when I made you feel pain. When did you ever tell me to stop? Never. I learned you loved when I dominated you. Now, did you ever make Grant hurt you or Blake? Then she understands. Oh, wow. Was I the only one who truly knew what turned you on? Then there's that familiar scent again. What the fuck is that shit you're wearing? Oh, I helped myself to Blake's perfume, Wit confesses. I knew that would turn your suspicions towards her. Looks like I was right, huh? I groan and shake my head slowly. Go ahead and get your thrills. Just kill me already. That's what you want. That's why you did all this shit, right? You said so yourself. There was gonna be one final game between us, all because I refused to kiss you, during that first spin the bottle game. Suddenly, Whit sits on my lap and plants one right on me. Oh, Jesus Christ, no. Please, no. I'm actually kissing her back. It's like we never broke up in the first place. Whit's right about us having a crazy relationship. I never understood why I felt such immense pleasure whenever Whit hurt me, physically or emotionally. I don't know why I'm such a masochist. No matter how much abuse she gave me, I always craved more. This was a part of our relationship I could never tell my therapists because I just simply didn't know what it was. Whit and I kiss with such passion. I can feel her burning love for me. I can feel how much she's hurting for what she did to me in her kiss. I know it sounds fucked up, doesn't it? Welcome to my world. Clearly not all of us Mirrans are so happy-go-lucky with all the money and power we have to our name. We're still human and have weaknesses. In my case, I came to love being dominated by Whit. She learned what I desired and gave it to me. Like many of the beautifully gift-wrapped boxes of chocolate she would also give me from time to time. When we stop kissing, I'm crying myself now. This crazy bitch just killed Wildman and Blake, two people I really came to admire. Maybe I didn't care for them like I thought. Or just not enough. Not when I'm clearly still hungry for Whit. I love you with all my heart and body, she whispers to my lips. Then she shows her burning love for me again by giving me another kiss. Whit slides her hand up my t-shirt and squeezes my raw breast hard. I moan from the pain she's giving me and how it's turning me on. I don't fight or resist her, as this kiss lasts so much longer this time. When we finally come apart, she pulls her hand out from my t-shirt. It's just you and me, sugar tits, she reminds me again. Forever and always. Will you please stop calling me that? I yell. She runs her tongue across my lips now. But your tits are just perfect, even if they are fake. And your nipples always taste so sweet to me. Then Whit gives me a romantic sigh before she gets off me so she can start undoing my pants. I quickly bring my legs up and use my feet to push her away.
You're not safe yet. Weekly Spooky will be right back.
No, Whit! I yell as the bodies come into view again. No! When Whit looks to me for an explanation, I tell her, you killed everyone in here. There's no fucking way we can ever have sex again. I turn my head away from her. I was fucking stupid to give in to you. I glare at her. I guess I had a moment of weakness too. Whit caresses the side of my face as she gives me her beautiful smile again. I could just take you right now. You know you'd love every bit of it, and you'd beg me for more. And after tonight, I'm going to take you far away from Strickfield. It's just going to be us and the world we make together. She sits on my lap again. I told you, Samara, there are no hard feelings whatsoever with you belting me the way you did. Again, I humbly admit to you, I deserved it for cheating. What do I have to do to make you forgive me? Name it. I can't be without you. I will never be without you, ever again. I shake my head slowly. There's no redemption for you. I suppose maybe one day I'll forgive you for how you cheated on me. But you killed everybody in here. I begged you and begged you to spare Wildman and Quinn. And you just didn't care. I told you I killed them for you, Wit reminds me, like I'm just not understanding her side of things. I killed them all because they came in between us and would continue to do so as long as they were alive. Wit gets off me and goes to one particular rotting corpse, one who looks worse than she herself did. Do you recognize her? After our breakup, I killed Roxy. I had to, since she came in between me and my girl. Wit digs into her pocket and produces the keys to the handcuffs. Killing Roxy should prove I love only you. And now, I'm going to prove my love for you once and for all, by releasing you. Wit wastes no time unlocking both of my handcuffs. Then she takes my hands and helps me to my feet. Suddenly she wraps me in her arms and kisses me one more time. And one more time, I drink her in. Then, I smell Blake's perfume on her and remember those demented games of spin the bottle. Even without perfume, Wit's natural scent was always intoxicating. And right now, I really want to have sex with her again. When we stop kissing, Wit seems to know what I'm thinking. That's the beauty of being in such a tight relationship with another person. You learn everything about each other and know how to please them. Wit holds me and looks deep in my teary eyes. I'm going to love you deep, she whispers to my lips. I will win you back. She starts to lift up my shirt. But then I roar as I suddenly come to life and lay into Wit with everything I can make my right fist give her. She cries out and falls hard to the floor. Looks like I gave her a nice bruise on the side of her face. Now I'm heaving with rage. You cheated on me! Then she looks up at me. I killed Roxy for you! I don't care! I growl as I reach down, yank her up, and give her as hard of a headbutt as I can give her. I don't care if I get a concussion. Wit shrieks and lands on her ass again. Ow! I utter and hold my forehead. I guess Wit got it good too because she also groans while holding her forehead. I manage to shake all the stars away before she does and yank her back up. Then I haul off on her with my left fist. This time she doesn't go down. In fact, Wit's in this fight now. She clocks me with a right hand of her own. I said I'm sorry so many times for cheating on you. I killed people to win you back. Especially Roxy. Are you going to keep making me feel the pain of losing you? I howl and punch her hard again. You think you can just win me back by killing everybody? You know what really pissed me off, Wit? I point to Roxy's corpse. You slept with her in our bed. You would have kept right on fucking her behind my back if I hadn't caught you. Wit grabs me and knees me in the gut, dropping me to my knees. Again, I fucked up. Also, I drove 500 miles to find you. I will win you back, no matter what the cost. You are my life. Wit pulls me back up and pecks my lips. Anything, Samara. I killed for you. And I'll gladly do it again. No questions asked. I'll bleed for you. I'll even die for you. That's how much my love for you burns me inside. I groan and return the favor by driving a knee into her gut this time. Wit groans but doesn't drop. I raise my foot and kick her in the chest hard to make her stagger and finally fall back on her ass. Then I get on top of her, grab 2 handfuls of hair, and slam the back of her head into the concrete floor. All that pent-up heartbreak I've been feeling against Wit continues to seethe throughout my body. I can only see red now. You cheated on me, Wit, after you asked me to marry you. I'll never forgive you. As I throttle Wit's neck, she screams, grabs me, and turns me onto my back. I will win you back. You belong with me. Wit and I keep fighting. We let it get this bad. No matter the outcome, I'll never be able to shake her. She'll keep following me and finding me wherever I go, just like she told me. The truth is, I'm a straight-A student, but Wit's intelligence is gifted, which was how she became a med student. When it comes to planning, she's always several steps ahead of me. I know I can't match brain power with her. What do I have to do to make you leave me alone forever? I hiss, throttling her neck again. Wit growls and looks up at me, locking eyes. You'll have to kill me. I'll never give up. I can never stop loving you, holding you, tasting you. I'll always be in your head. You are mine. My rage tells me to finish her. You cheated on me, Wit. I'm going to make sure you never cheat on anybody, ever again. It was at that moment that I realized I have to kill her.
Don't go away. Weekly Spooky will be right back.
As I'm feeling I'm right at the breaking point of her neck, she pushes back with a desperate burst of strength to get me off her. Then she comes at me like a fierce cat. She pulls me to her and covers my mouth with hers again. One more time I give in to her and kiss her back. The pain in the pit of my stomach is in turmoil. I want my emotions to only make me feel hatred for Wit, but they're continuing to abandon me to her. God damn it. I still burn hot for her. When we come apart yet again, we can both see we've battered and bruised each other. We've even torn away at each other's clothes. I love you, Samara, she chokes out. She pulls me to her for another sizzling kiss. Again, I give in. Now I feel Wit unzipping my torn top from behind. Soon she has it off me and drops it to the floor. She's going for my pants now. She'll have me undressed completely. I want her so badly right now. Then I open my eyes and see it. The big, sharp knife Wit sliced Blake's wrists with is sitting on the edge of the furnace just behind her, within reach. As Wit's feeling up my body, I get a grip around the handle of the knife. When I know it's mine, I shove Wit to the floor and pounce on her. She cries out when I stab her. You'll never be able to make things right with me, Wit. You asked for my hand in marriage. When I accepted, you were already having an affair with Roxy. But you'll never cheat on anybody ever again. The only way I'm ever going to be free of the heartbreak of your fucking around is to kill you. I raise the knife for the kill. Never! Wit screams when I bring the knife down. She grabs hold of my wrist and again we're wrestling each other. Some of her blood is getting on my naked upper body now. Then she slips, allowing me to stab her again. She cries out and snatches my wrist again as she bleeds all over me some more. I manage to turn the cheating bitch back onto her back. I have to end Wit right here and now. My love for her really is burning me like it's never burned me before, but the pain of her infidelity burns me far worse. If I don't kill her, I'll end up being with her again, possibly setting myself up for yet another heartbreak and a body count. Die with your whore, you bitch! I hiss, the knife raised for the killing stab. Hold it right there! A man's voice shouts from behind me. Drop the knife! Drop it! I quickly drop the bloody knife. Then I feel two men grabbing my arms and dragging me off Wit. It's Strickfield PD. What the fuck are they doing here? The next thing I know, I'm being handcuffed behind my back while being read my rights. Then my bloody upper body is being covered up as I'm hearing one of the officers calling for several ambulances. You see this? One of the officers asks another. You're going down for murder 1. The officer who read me my rights tells me. 10-1, you're getting the death penalty. I'm ready to protest and tell them Whit was the crazy one who did all these murders. But you know something? Maybe the death penalty is how I'll finally be free of Whit. Speak of the devil. She's still breathing. Just fucking die! I yell at her. But she won't, will she? As long as I'm still alive, then she's got something to live for, huh? Let's move it, an officer behind me nudges as we get to the stairs. Epilogue. So, here I am now, locked away in a jail cell at the Pendleton PD. Turns out every cell at the Strickfield PD was occupied when I was booked, a rarity from what I understand. So arrangements were made and I was transported here, to Pendleton. First, I had to await my trial. Now I'm awaiting my transport to Glenview soon. I'm wearing a jumpsuit and sitting in my cell, looking around. I'm the only one locked here in the cell block. No wonder it's so quiet. When my trial came, months after my arrest, I pled guilty. Because of that, I was spared the death penalty and got a reduced sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole. I never even had to take the stand. Also, Whit came to the trial and was there for the whole thing. As the police were taking me out of the courthouse to load me up for my trip back to Pendleton, Whit gave me her beautiful smile once again. She seemed to be completely healed up. Now I'm sitting in my cell, doing some thinking. I can't stop remembering Whit's fucking smile. She's got something on her mind. I'm afraid to ask what. I've had plenty of time to think about everything. I wondered how the police came and found Whit and me down in the basement at Blake's parents' summer house that night. I kept wondering if Whit called them and set me up somehow. No. I learned from one of the guards here that a nosy neighbor saw what was going down in the basement and called the police immediately. The cops came and caught me red-handed. There was no question of my guilt, at least when it came to Whit. Now I'm convicted of attempted murder on her and murder itself for everybody else, even Roxy. Again, I could never have proven my innocence when it came to all the dead bodies in the basement of Blake's parents' summer house. I really don't care at this point. I'm just tired of running from Whit. With me going to Glenview, there's no way Whit will ever get to me. Not unless she gets herself arrested and gets sentenced here too. Like I said, Whit's got a gifted intelligence. She's both crazy and brilliant. She's off the hook for everything. Soon I'll be in prison for the rest of my life. But I've got a reassuring thought. I'm thinking that cheating bitch will continue to hurt inside for what she did to me. In fact, I hope she's been crying herself to sleep every night. But I'm about to find out. I've greatly underestimated Whit yet again. A week later, I'm in the back of a car with the Feltner County Sheriff himself driving and a deputy riding shotgun. I'm being transported to North Ridgeway, where they'll officially release me to Glenview. From there, I'll officially be part of the prison system. Both my parents and Blake's came to visit me. Blake's parents called me everything but a child of God and told me I should have gotten the death penalty. They told me to burn in hell before leaving. As for my parents, they didn't know what to think of me. It was safe to say they were pretty distraught over Quinn's death. They didn't ask me if I killed Quinn or Blake. The way they spoke to me, they sure sounded convinced that I did. Before they left, they assured me they weren't coming to see me at Glenview. "You made your bed. Now you have to lie in it," were Mom's last words, before they washed their hands of me forever. We're halfway between Pendleton and North Ridgeway now. Soon we're slowing down. I look through the window and see a car broke down on the side of the road. I feel my tummy ache fast when I see an all too familiar, heart-shaped ass with its owner under the hood. "Just go!" I yell at them. The sheriff tells me to shut up. Then he and the deputy get out to see the supposed damsel in distress. 2 shotgun blasts later, and the dumbasses don't get to wish they had listened to me. Whit comes and opens my door, looking like some farmer's daughter from a cheesy porn movie. "Well, hello, sugar tits!" Whit cheers like a farmer's daughter. "Sure is fancy meeting y'all out here in the middle of nowhere like this." I step out of the car and face Whit. She gets serious now. "You are not rotting in prison for the rest of your life," she tells me in her normal, purring voice. "You took the fall for me. I really feel bad about that. About everything. You're right, I don't deserve you. Or your forgiveness." She's crying now. "I set you free and made things right. I'll leave you alone from now on. If that's what you really want." We look at each other for a long moment. Then I come into Whit and lock her in a deep, passionate, hungry kiss. There we are standing in the middle of State Route 1, reunited and not giving a shit about the rest of the world. When we come apart, I take both of Whit's hands in mine. She squeezes them back. "There's nothing wrong with your car, is there?" I ask. "No," Whit replies. "You ready to leave?" "Where are we going?" I ask. She shrugs. "Who cares? We're together and that's all that matters." Then Whit closes her eyes and cries again. "I know I messed up. It's not knowing what you had until you lost it." She opens her eyes and faces me. "I can't lose you ever again. I promise I'll do better by you this time. I swear on my life. I'll never cheat on you ever again." I sigh. Our really bad breakup really came to all this. Now I'm crying. "I missed you, Whit. You really hurt me. I kept wondering what I did that was so wrong, that you would go behind my back and cheat on me with your ex." Whit pulls me into her arms. "It was my fault, all me. You did nothing but be you. And I took you for granted. Please forgive me." I ease Whit back and look at her. "We've got no choice but to be together now. We're fugitives as of right now. So, I love and forgive you, Whit." She and I have a long hug. When we finish, she nods to her car. "Let's move, sugar tits." Whit and I get in her car and take off, leaving the bodies of 2 Feltner County law enforcement officials behind. To think that our breakup was so bad, that it came to all this. Talk about having serious relationship issues. I truly did forgive Whit for cheating on me. I really did miss her, and Whit had certainly proven herself to me. She's always been crazy, but she really went to the extreme to win my heart back. Killing Roxy, and today. I could tell you what Whit and I are doing right now, as far as getting off the grid, but I'm not going to. All you need to know is that Whit and I are back together again. Where are we going from here? I'd say likely. That's up to your imagination from here on out. Well, my spookies, I hope you enjoyed the thrilling conclusion of Spin the Bottle as much as I did. I can't lie, the twists and turns went in directions I was not expecting. And I had a hell of a good time. And I hope you did too. And if you ever want to contact me here at Weekly Spooky, all you have to do is go to weeklyspooky.com or send an email to weeklyspooky@gmail.com. I do love to hear from you guys, so get a hold of me. Now that the series is over, we're getting ready to head into February. We'll have a very special novella-length episode, something to really help you get into the romantic mood. You can expect that just before Valentine's Day. So make sure you're subscribed because you will not want to miss that. And of course, we have something brand new for you next Wednesday and the return of Terrifying and True on Monday. So, more reason than ever to make sure you're subscribed on your favorite podcasting app and leave us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It really does make a big difference. And I want to say an extra special thank you to our Patreon backers, over 97 of you, and in particular, our Patreon podcast boosters, folks who pay just a little bit more to hear their names at the end of the show. And they are Jessica Fuller, Johnny Nix, Jenny Green, Amber Hansford, Brent McCullough, Karen Wiemet, Jack Kerr, and Craig Cohen. If you want to join that list of special spookies who get to hear their names at the end of the show in my spooky, silky voice, well, just go to weeklyspooky.com/join and choose a patronage at $15 a month or higher. You'll make a huge difference for the show, and, of course, I'll learn to pronounce your name, God willing. But now, my friends, it's time for me to get back to work. If you want to hang out with me and the other authors, head to Facebook and type in Weekly Spooky's Tomb of Terror. It's totally free, and we'd love to see you there. But now I gotta get out of here, so for myself, for my executive producers Rob Fields, Mark Shields, and Bobbletopia.com, my producer Dan Wilder, and of course, my terrifying composer Ray Mattis, I will talk at you next time.
Thank you for listening. Make sure to find your way back next week. But for now, you are safe. Trust me.